Oh, John, thank God.
Williams, what the hell are you doing here?
Myers. Is he dead?
Myers has zero emotion. He has no motives. If he sees, he kills.
Tell the town to lock their doors. No one in, no one out.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
You ever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Beecham Network, Multiverse of Media, has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the Stat Boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeeps here keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. Your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Dory Lou. And a host of other guests coming in. The food's hot, the seats are warm, the drinks are ice cold, and the sports talk is plentiful. Casa de 18 Studios presents Stat Boy Sports Bar. Take a bar stool and enjoy the show.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Gary Hebert, the man, the myth, the legend. I was amazed, and I was looking to become a better skater myself, and I wanted to be like Gary.
When you look at a guy like this, he's one of the most talented people in his profession. He's been given gifts by God.
It can get frustrating at times when you're trying things that, that maybe don't come as quickly to you as other things. And, you never really felt that sense of frustration with Gary. It was always about improvement and positive reinforcement.
Was it really the end? Was that head injury really the end? God has called Gary to continue to be a blessing to others and to be a passionate example.
My name is Gary Hebert, and this is the World Academy of Hockey, otherwise known as the Inside Edge.
I would recommend anybody that have a chance to come to his hockey school. I think it'd be well worth it. It'd be rewarding to all the kids and anyone he coaches, from whether it's an adult, a professional player, to a little kid like a Mike or a Squirt.
Gary, from day one, has been instrumental to my hockey career. I started out as a potential Division III player, and Gary brought me single-handedly through high school and into a top Division I prospect. I owe it all to Gary, the biggest legend on and off ice there's ever been.
Listen, watch, learn, be confident, and have faith. Those are the answers I was brought to. Yet, I only now am really learning how truly important those 5 things are.
Through preparation, through appropriate thoughtfulness and thinking, we can learn to untie the typical knots between our ears that drive us into underachievement and underperformance. And lo and behold, we can learn, I think, to fulfill our God-given potential.
Gary has the innate ability to make people not only better players, but better people. The life lessons they learn from Gary are incredible.
I can always remember leaving that rink knowing as a player I got better, or I had something to improve on to get better. And I think that's what you excelled on as a coach, is giving us the knowledge to know what we needed to do to get better.
There's coaches who know the game, but can you communicate and create passion in your kids and in your players? And Gary's able to do that.
Gary's got great knowledge and the great hands, but more importantly, his ability to connect with people and care for them. His communication skills, to me, really stand out, separate him, and that's why he's one of the best, in the world.
Gary's a legend. He's a special man.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Here we go again!
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Oh, John, thank God.
Williams, what the hell are you doing here?
Myers. Is he dead?
Myers has zero emotion. He has no motives. If he sees, he kills.
Tell the town to lock their doors. No one in, no one out.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
Welcome back, everybody, once again to the total non-stop content week. Here's your minute with me at Live on Event Schedule as we move away from Monday Night Raw to the second week and the conclusion of NXT Great American Bash. We have, of course, 3 titles on the line tonight. The Battle of the Joes, which one you believe in, which one will be on top. And, of course, we also see if Trick Williams figures it out against the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Disgusting. Again, folks, I'm Simon Noel Foster, but of course, I am not alone. With me on the call, of course, will be the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, and I said his name, he appears. JJ, good to see you as I just woke up from another ridiculously rainy, humidity-filled day. But here we are to the conclusion of this 2-week soiree, where I'm sure barbecue is going to fly, and there's going to be more than just fireworks going off tonight. How you feeling about NXT Great American Bash Night 2, and how's your day been?
Day's been all right, pretty eventful so far. As far as tonight's show, I'm looking forward to this week about as much as I was looking forward to last week.
Fair.
Both weeks look like they're pretty solid cards. Last week, of course, we had Roxanne Perez versus Thea Hale. This week, we've got the Battle of the Joes. We got Joe Coffey versus Joe Hendry. We've got MSK versus Axiom and Nathan Frazier, and I'm here for it, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, because I've got a feeling. No, not that tonight's going to be a good night, but I've got a feeling that we may see new tag team champions, and we may actually get TNA talent holding an NXT title here this evening.
I mean, stranger things have happened. Former two-time NXT Tag Team Champions, initially wanting them back in 2021 in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, Bad Out of Stand Deliver, only to hold them through till Halloween Havoc 2021 to lose them to Imperium, Family Nightmare, Marcel Bartel, and then for a short stint, and I literally mean a short stint, MSK literally had them after beating Imperium and the Creed Brothers back in 2022 at Stand Deliver. So they've got it done twice before, this combination of Nash Carter, now known as Zaki Wentz, and of course Wesley, the former Desmond Xavier. And Tag Team Gold, these two are no strangers, no matter what identity you want to give them. So I definitely wouldn't rule it out, but I also got to consider that I know Trey will probably be in their corner, and we know the Rascals, they love to go about their ways towards getting what they want. And again, the Rascals have been undefeated as a trio. So we'll see what happens here.
And then they just added this match a couple of days ago. Ren Sinclair in action here tonight as she continues her pledge to join the No Quarter Catch crew.
Interesting. And who is she facing?
I forget her name. I believe it's her first match on the main NXT card. I believe she's been on Level Up quite a bit, but I haven't really seen her on the show as of yet. Give me just a second. I'm going to try to find her name for you.
No, that's fair, but of course, Gwen Sinclair, former student of the Mara Thunder Rosa, and of course, trying to prove that she could be Catch Cam as Charlie Dempsey and his crew, and Miles Bourne, who's been thrown out twice by somebody that's incredibly impressed me with her strength. And of course, Taman Heights has been working through the M1 victory along with Josh Briggs. And again, folks, you can check out Pro Wrestling Noah and the M1 victory, courtesy of Wrestle Universe, along with other promotions there like TJPW, DDT Pro, and of course, Marigold. Just bridging it there. I'm going to guess
it's Kendall Gray.
Oh, okay, so that's Kendall Gray, the running mate, I believe, of Carly Bright. And I believe it's Carly Bright that's been throwing around Miles Bourne, because we saw Kendall Gray. We were really talking about her last week. We saw Kendall Gray make her, I believe, debut last week. Again, an athlete, of course, with zero wrestling experience, part of the NIL program, where they believe the future WWE superstars can come from something as simple as an athletic background and something else, whether it's volleyball, gymnastics, cheerleading, karate, you name it. So, all right, well, this should be interesting as I'm waiting for whatever the hell this is to get off my screen. I thought USA was freaking ridiculous what they had on before wrestling. What the hell is this?
I believe this is Resident Evil. I don't know which one. There's about as many Resident Evil films as there are Fast and Furious films.
Yeah, I wonder which franchise is more successful. Anyway.
More successful, Fast and the Furious.
Okay, then meh. Either way,
and
I don't care.
Between Vin Diesel and The Rock, I'm just saying.
I'm just gonna say this. I don't watch movies. Anyway,
we know.
All right,
we know. No, we've got the end credits here now, so we're getting ready to switch over.
All right, and even though again it may never be my NXT, it's far better than what it used to be, and I'm intrigued by a couple of things tonight. I expect maybe one title change hands. I'm expecting some to develop as we are shortly away from NXT No Mercy. So we'll see what happens here, as again, this total non-stop week of content across all things wrestling. Shout out to the AEW family. It continues through the night with NXT GAB at week 2. That being said, here we go, folks, and hope you enjoy the show. And again, if you enjoy what you hear, please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. If you want to dictate the conversation, join the Dictate Casting Studios, Jeff Beecham Network, Red Cherry Brand, Super Chat, as simple as that. Same to Wesley and all the newcomers and, of course, the regulars. Good to see you all, as always. Enjoy the show, and without further ado, JJ, as we always are in this, then, now, together, forever. Here we freaking go, bruv.
Yes, sir. How are we going to start things off here tonight? Yes, Hank and Tank, our hosts with the most.
Yeah, also known as Iron Savages 2.0, without the monster sauce. Or monster juice sauce. I don't know what they drink. Some combination of freaking coffee and energy drink. They were so effective as secret agents last week trying to invade the NXT arena.
I gotta admit, they did bring a sense of humor to the thing.
Well, there's also
we get a little bit of highlights here of what happened last week.
Well, the summer tradition, of course, it started hot last week. To your point, despite, again, comedy being subjective. Of course, we saw the WWE Women's Tag Team Champion successful against the TikTok Rejects. We saw Joe Hemick get the concept of a lifetime, only to be crashed by Gallus with a kabong guitar to the back. We saw Axiom and Nathan Frazier have a disagreement over a signed NXT Tag Team title match. We saw Mr. 123 or Mensa finally get pen to paper for his NXT Championship match against Ole Golden Page, who's looking to make sure that's the closest to the fact that he will become a champion. And of course, we saw trios warfare in the women's division as the Mean Girls of NXT, not dressed in pink, were able to beat the trio of Lola Vice. Well, that's not here. Carmen Petrovic and of course Saruka. And in her greatest match in her young WWE and wrestling career, Thea Hill took Roxanne mat for mat, arm for arm to the limit, but the prodigy proves once again that she is truly on another level. How does Chase U rebound from here? Do they still have that team spirit and confidence to move forward? We'll find out. This is so much more that happened last week as we continue our way through NXT GAB. Welcome to week 2 and welcome to the show, folks. The NXT universe is a-buzzing. And, of course, we have all the snacks out here tonight. And, of course, our summer gathering here. Presented tonight by Mint Mobile. Here to Jimmy Brothers Mia. Welcome, everybody, to NXT GAB Week 2. Welcome to the show.
Oh,
boy.
shit.
Well,
starting off heavy here as a bruiserweight returns home.
And, again, did Trick Williams figured it out? Time to find out. Sometimes the hardest lessons are taught the most brutal of ways. It doesn't get more brutal than the bruiserweight. Former NXT UK champion, Pete Dunne. I mean, Pete Dunne, of course, though, you wonder where his mind's at, dealing with two different things. The fallout with his former brawling brute, Sheamus, where he felt like all he was during that time was honestly Sheamus's running mate. And in a way, he kind of was right, as, of course, the brawling brutes never got any gold. And, of course, Pete Dunne literally led a division, a brand, to the grandest stage, put it on his back as the NXT UK champion for over 680 days.
Definitely before my time, but I don't doubt it with the way that I have seen the bruiserweight, whether he was going by Pete Dunne or the stupid nickname of Butch that they gave him for a while when he was with the Brawling Brutes.
Meanwhile,
whoop that trick. I like it, dog. Oh, yeah, man.
Oh, gosh.
Don't oh, gosh, me. You paused just because you were letting me do it.
I knew you were going to do it.
Keep the gimmick.
Yep.
So you could have been sitting here talking the whole time.
No. If I
but
don't
you gave me that second ducket credit, man.
If I don't,
If
I don't let this man whoop that trick, I know I'll never hear the end of it. Drake was, of course, trying to get back his way by any means necessary to get back his NXT championship stolen by All Eagle Ethan Page back at Heatwave. Been seeking advice from former champions, including either Dragunov and Pete Dunne. And Pete Dunne simply say, figure it out. And last week he figured Trick did not figure it out, even though he had a great win against Sid Alexander. Says you still haven't figured it out. Now we're going to see if he figures it out here in one-on-one action. First ever one-on-one matchup with these two.
Well, yeah, because by the time Trick Williams had his come up, Pete Dunne was already on the main roster.
Nice drop kick there by Trick Williams. There they going here. And of course, we talked about the
Trick has to look for a way to assert himself quick here, because if he allows Pete Dunne to get control of this match and dominate, he is good as gone.
And Pete Dunne right now looks unfazed by that, almost looks insulted. We've seen Trick Williams, though, again, overcome adversity before. Let's not forget his journey to get to the NXT Championship, overcoming Ilya Dragunov and beating him on the way there. And right now, Pete Dunne, the Kimura lock applied, joint manipulation right now on full display. Change the position, though. Trick hoisting up Pete Dunne, stalling vertical suplex position or suplex drop. All the blood rushes to the Bruiserweight's head. There's a cover by Trick. Gets a 2 count. And right now, Trick Williams, to your point, is staying hot and furious on the attack. Of course, to come tonight, NXT Championship will be on the line. Oliver Page will defend against the Metaphors or Mensa. Can he get the 1, 2, 3 when it actually matters? And of course, the NXT Tag Champions will be on the line as Ashley may be afraid to defend against the former 2-time NXT Tag Champions, MSK in Wesley, and the returning Zachary Wentz, formerly known as Nash Carter. This is so much more to come tonight on NXT GAB. You see right now,
MSK that never actually lost the titles.
Exactly. And right now, Pete Dunne looking to make a wish. Joint manipulation applied here. Bending back the digits and twisting that arm. Norris Ziggler would be proud of that. Oh, gosh. Stop on the point of the elbow. That could literally dislocate a shoulder. In-ring tactician. That is the bruiserweight. He is called that for a reason. Take a look at this again, JJ.
I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, get all that forward motion on your bone. Into another attempted submission here by Pete Dunne. And look at Pete Dunne right now trying to transition to a triangle. Pointing the elbow to the top of the head of Trick Williams. Trick Williams, though, of course, with the height advantage and leverage. Looking to maybe trying to hoist up Pete Dunne for a one-arm deadlift.
Power bomb.
Whoa, man, release power bomb. Woo.
Take a look at it again here in picture-in-picture. Great replay there. The strength, just the sheer power of Trick Williams.
We talk about it all the time, JJ, when it comes to a competitor in this business, let alone in WWE. The journey to the championship versus the return to get back there once you lose it. We saw how tough it was for Trick Williams to get to it. How far is Trick Williams needs to go, and how far is he willing to go to get back to it? I think that's what Pete Dunne's trying to test here, and maybe that's what he needs to figure out.
Fair point, fair point. I feel like Trick Williams has become too nice. I think if he's going to get back to that title picture, great neck breaker there. Catching Pete Dunne as he comes off the top.
Great scouting, shoot the half, hook of the leg to win over to the stick. Kick out 2.5.
But back to my point, I think if Trick is going to get back to it, he's got to find that eye of the tiger, if you will, that he had when he was challenging Carmelo Hayes, as we're in full-blown commercial fuck television.
Can Trick Williams whoop that trick and figure out his way back to the NXT Championship? Stay tuned, folks. You won't miss a moment of the action as soon as we get back on our screens. Again, fuck television. Even worse than freaking USA. I feel like people still only watch sci-fi because they're into that. Sorry, Big G. Science fiction genre nonsense. Anyway, shout out to Big Brother.
Look. When sci-fi first launched back in the 90s, I was a huge fan of the Sci-Fi Network because they would, like every Halloween, they'd show the classic Universal monsters and shit. Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman, the Invisible Man, Creature from the Black Lagoon. But as the years went on, they kind of got away from that classic sci-fi format. Now I'm just like, whatever, fuck sci-fi.
About to say it's sci-fi as long as it features an alien and at some point it's in space.
Like, put it to you this way: the last time I watched the Sci-Fi Network on a regular basis, ECW was on it.
That was 2006.
That's my point, Noah.
Poor unfortunate soul. Oh, JJ. Whoa.
At least we're now in picture here, as Pete Dunne is starting to manipulate and work on the arms of Trick Williams.
Yeah, again, JJ, remember what Pete Dunne did inaugurally when he came to WWE? Golly. He literally was there to do one thing, and that was, simply put, make an impact. And he did during the inaugural NXT UK tournament. And why he didn't win, he was still the talking point of that entire field of competitors in and out across UK.
And you can see why here. Stomp in Trick's face. Clearly, I'm a little bit ahead of you, so as soon as they go back to full screen action, I'll pause, and then you let me know when you get it.
Yeah, because what they do here is they give me like a little bit of picture, they go straight back. So again, you kind of like, again, deviate a little bit of what's going on here, because we're talking about Trick Williams. We're talking about the man that no longer wanted to be just by him. He wanted to surpass him and maybe become him in a way. And of course, Camilla Hayes right now, while he's on SmackDown, he's currently feuding with Andrade. who is also, by the way, the current WWE Speed Champion for those that actually care about that.
Right. And
I guess-
Axiom isn't going to be speed champion. He got eliminated in the first round there.
Well, again, we talked about all the dissension, it seems, where there's a different agenda in mind for both Axiom and Nathan Frazier as of late to maybe pursue different singles campaigns. I think Nathan Frazier may want to go back after the Heritage Cup at some point. And Axiom, he's trying to go after the Speed Championship. Why he went after that, I'll never know. But still, if the tag champions don't get on the same page when it matters, and so far they seem to do that because they know how important it is to hold those NXT Tag Team Championships, and maybe that goes to the comments of them taking on a team from outside WWE, even though they have former history here. Again, they've been involved in TNA for the last 2 years plus. Maybe that just goes to the comments of the champions, but that also could be the bravado that's their downfall.
It's fair enough. And it's picture in picture, man. Pete Dunne is just dominating Trick here.
Again, Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight, former WWE United Kingdom champion, 685 days across 23 defenses before he lost to Walter Gunther, and that's to take him to New York. And we are back here right now at NXT GAB. Pete Dunne once again trapping Trick Williams, hyperextending the left arm, bending back on the digits again. Noah Foster, J.D. Williams on the call. Take a look at the replay here as, again, he just dropped that arm across the unforgiving apron where wood meets steel. And of course, Trick Williams only held the NXT championship. Oh, man! For literally about 3 months. You see Pete Dunne staring a hole right through Trick Williams' soul. We saw Pete Dunne try to get revenge against his former brawling mate in Sheamus, unable to hit the shillelagh shot where he felt he was going to, but he was not missing that shot there.
Nah, those forearms definitely have not missed.
And meanwhile, whoa, wow! And
Trick Williams with the clothesline turning Pete Dunne inside out here.
And Trick Williams getting a hot shot off. Take a look at the replay here. Wham! Man.
Just got the replay. I think you're a little ahead of me now.
And right now, we're back to the exchange here. Trick Williams trying to fight back in this match. Pete Dunne looking for wrist control, though. And again, breaking the hold. Trick Williams, massive uppercut. Big Harlan sidekick and a follow-up here. Sure, Booker T can take that. And once again, Pete Dunne hoisted up with the flapjack and a beautiful kip-up by Trick.
Oh, yeah, man.
And Trick Williams is feeling it, JJ, and the NXT Universe is willing him on.
Took his ponytail out. The locks are flying free now here.
And we see what happens when Shayna Baszler lets the hair run down. Trying to hoist Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne escapes, though. The roll through. Didn't go for the cover, though. Got hooked. Whoa, man!
The bookend.
Cover, hook the outside leg. Kick out by Pete Dunne again. Woo.
Gotta wonder what Booker T thinks of Trick paying all this respect to him with the Harlem sidekicks, the bookend, of course, the rock bottom.
And let's not forget the type of gear he wore back at Heatwave, literally channeling Harlem Heat.
Yep.
Sidestep, Pete Dunne, rebound, German suplex, turns Trick Williams up and over. Double stop to the hands, and that buzzsaw kick follow-up.
Jesus. I think we're perfectly in sync right now.
That's what I do. And Pete Dunne right now firmly back in control. Again, Trick Williams hasn't figured it out clearly as the Bruiserweight once again is going to the top rope, looking for further damage. Trick, though, meeting him in kind. Inside on the second. Oh, boy. Looking to hook up Pete Dunne. What the hell's going to happen here? Whoa!
Super flapjack.
Flatliner. From the top. That's got to be it. Hook of the leg. Kick out again. Take a look at this. Stalling avalanche flatliner. Or flapjack, whatever you want to call that. Or a flapjack was the fact he was elevated underneath Trick Williams' head. And Trick right now might be looking for that trick shot. Oh, nope. With a big elbow. Ooh,
Pete Dunne had it scouted.
Yeah, both these men are scouting right now. Stepping into Gary rocks Trick Williams right now. Neither man giving an inch. Oh, God!
Trouble in paradise.
Is it enough for the win? Kick out again. But this is where Trick truly needs to figure out what it means to get a win and how far you're willing to go and you need to dig to get it. That's what Pete Dunne, I think, is trying to have Trick try and figure out here.
Performance Center chanting NXT, NXT. Of course, tonight we got the Battle of the Joes, Joe Coffey versus Joe Hendry.
NXT Universe, though, very proud
Women's
of
North American title will be up next as Kaylani Jordan defends against Tatum Paxley.
And right now, Pete Dunne just dropped Trick Williams with a powerbomb, looking to kick his fucking head in right now, stomping the side of the head of Trick Williams.
It's the definition of stomping a mud hole and walking it dry. What?
About to say, Pete Dunne saying, have you figured it out yet? Have you not still figured it out? Trick still saying no, though. Dunne's starting to come a bit unhinged. Maybe surprised by Trick Williams here. Knife edge chop. Trick Williams once again getting the fight back. And again, teeing up against the Bruiser in the corner. Gotta watch out, though. Only got a 5 count. Doesn't want to get disqualified here. Don't let the emotions run wild. Oh!
Jesus.
Open palm strike.
Just slapping the taste out of his mouth.
And a receipt by Trick Williams. And Pete Dunne once again in the corner, grabbing the turnbuckle as Trick tees off again on the Bruiserweight. Trick needs to calm down, though. He needs to regain control of himself, let alone control of this match. Pete Dunne once again, though. Once again, back to the finger. Ah, God! And again, those fingers are not meant to bend that way. And Trick Williams, though. There's the rage in Trick Williams' eyes. Oh, no! The knee and the exposed turnbuckle. And Pete Dunne's got Trick hooked. Bitter end! Shoot the half. Cover. Hook of the leg. Pete Dunne with the win.
Wow. That's a little bit surprising to me. Not because I didn't think that Pete Dunne could do it, because I knew he could. But I figured Pete Dunne was going to go back down to the main roster. You know, I figured this was just a little mini angle for him to work. Maybe there's going to be something more coming out of this with him and Trick.
Well, again, Trick Williams, Pete Dunne asked, you still haven't figured it out. Have you figured it out? The answer is no. That trick shot attempt into the exposed turnbuckle. It was the moment Pete Dunne needed to hook Trick Williams for a bitter end and the win. And someone tells me those two are far from done with each other.
Meanwhile, earlier today, getting a little look at the backstage area and all the goodies for the Great American Bash.
You always got to have some sort of food nonsense when it comes to a Fiend special here in WWE. I'm just waiting for somebody to start throwing it.
I'm kind of digging Lexus King's Nirvana shirt. That's pretty cool, based off of the In Utero album.
Well, anyway, this, of course, stemming back to the fact that Lexus King literally broke Eddie Thorpe's can. I guess Eddie Thorpe must have been okay after all. Oy, I never will get into this type of stuff. And wait, what's Stevie Turner and Robert Stone?
Mr. Stone.
No, whatever. Okay, first off, Stevie Turner is not one of those that is like gorgeous herself. I guess I was wrong. I sense disgusting disaster. Especially if those are not boneless wings. And they're not.
And Ava's there and is like, what in the hell is going on?
Hey, Ava, you hired these goons. I hope they're worth it. Seriously, you need some better professional help. I'm just saying. And speaking of someone that might need professional help,
I was going to say, talk about a segue, Noah. You want to talk about someone that needs professional help.
Right?
Tatum
Paxley goes one-on-one against Kalani Jordan, not looking to play, but looking to claim the NXT Women's North American Championship. And that is next. And again, as I talked about earlier, JJ, you, me, Walter, Jeff, Big G if he chooses, we are going to acknowledge all the wrestling this week in a week that is truly all the content are coming, all the companies, including this Friday, where we will see the return back to his show. He goes home. After what happened on Saturday, the OTC will be acknowledged on SmackDown. And we will cover here the JMN Multiverse Media Friday, of course, this week. So stay tuned for more on that. Again, that building needed an effing foundation when that happened. It was ridiculous.
And in addition to covering that on Friday, Noah, in addition to covering Impact as we have been, why don't you take a look at all the other shit we're going to be covering here, good sir?
Okay, say we didn't play.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
And again, if you haven't figured it out by now, we heard the JMN Multiverse Media truly incorporate, encompass, acknowledge, embrace, and showcase the passion truly for all the wrestling, 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 all the professional wrestling. Damn it! And combat sports and other forms of sports as well.
There's a lot of stuff that keeps getting added there, sir.
Yeah, I love it. I fucking love it. I like it. Oh, man.
You know what I love?
What?
Jeff Jarrett versus Bryan Danielson tomorrow, good
still,
sir.
One, can't believe that's happening in 2024. Two, can't believe it's no disqualification. And three, can't fucking believe that the most probably integral man in this business is going to be a special guest in some capacity. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. What the fuck's happening?
Yep. And then I don't know if you saw the group chat that I posted for you, but we have this match for Ultimate X Qualifier.
With the X Division champion? How does that
Speedball
work?
Mike Bailey, Trent Seven, and Jake something.
Something!
And then we also have Zachary Wentz versus Casey Navarro versus a mystery opponent.
Now, that does make me wonder, considering the X Division welcomes on, it's truly about no limits. Could that be somebody from NXT? That's
possibly.
Why not? I'm just saying.
Quite possibly. The $1 million question is who?
Who? Well, not Kofi Kingston, I guarantee you that. As we're back here on NXT GAB with All Eagle and Page, of course, still holding the NXT Championship as of right now. Nathan Frazier in the background, though. Of course, one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions. And you wonder, this might be foreshadowing for something. Smidge of luck. That's what he said. Damn. Again, Ethan, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It literally happened 3 times to you, bro. Plain as day. It was even counted at one point by a referee of NXT.
Yep.
That's about as fishy as it gets without the bell actually being rung. Well, again, we still have 2 championship matches to come following this. We get ready now for the NXT Women's North American Championship, and Tam Paxley has come out to play and claim her first piece of gold if she can once again. Very strange individual here, JJ. And that's saying who we saw last week return on TNA Impact in Rosemary.
That would be a hell of a match. Give me that.
Well, I mean, you're looking at two people that feel like they're tortured souls, but Tatum here has been kind of welcomed by the NXT universe, while Rosemary's been always one with the TNA faithful, and Rosemary feels like she has nothing, and Tatum Paxley wants everything. And of course,
here comes our champion. It is
her.
her.
There you go. I was waiting for you to say that.
For those of you out there that don't get the joke, that is the girlfriend of himself, Carmelo Hayes. Hence the reason we call Kehlani Jordan her.
Leah Mitchell, by the way, is her actual name. She is a former gymnast. Again, both these athletes came out of the NIL program, zero wrestling experience prior to this. Signed back in 2022. Of course, underneath the ring name, as you said, Kehlani Jordan, who, of course, won this championship inaugurally in the ladder match at NXT Battleground. And this will be her second defense of the title. Let's go down to Mike Rome for their inductions. What ball? I do love the look of that title. White, red, and gold is such a beautiful combination, just like the Knockouts World Championship.
Notice the way Tatum isn't taking her eyes off of the title, though. She's not looking at Kehlani. She's not looking at the fans. She was looking at that championship around her waist, and now her eyes go right back to it.
Tatum Paxley, by the way, 27 years of age, 2 years in the game, a previous background in cheerleading and powerlifting. Kehlani Jordan, 25 years of age, 1 year in the game, a background previously in turning, and of course, that is an alternative form of gymnastics, mostly involves a lot of flipping. And of course, we talked about Tatum Paxley has become now obsessed with getting this championship versus the NXT Women's Championship. Tatum Paxley has really made a name for herself, though, when it comes to pursuing gold and having her eyes on the richest prizes when it comes to not just in NXT, but of course in TNA. Previously challenging Jordan Grace in a great open challenge match. Oh, wow. Back at, of course, against all odds in Chicago. Of course, a pure athlete from Michigan State, that is Kehlani Jordan. We've also noticed lately, though, this developing, I would say, respect. And speaking of respect, there is no respect when it comes to these women regarding anybody else. Found Henry, Jasmine Nixon, Jessie Jane as Wendy Chu stalks and walks, I think, with her eyes open in the background, too. It's just a whole nother weird dynamic here. Whoa, and Tatum Paxley here showing up her athleticism.
You got to wonder if they're sitting there watching, cheering on Tatum, or if they're against Kehlani.
Well, again, we talked about before, though, how battle lines have seemed to have been drawn lately when it comes to this NXT women's division. And Tatum Paxley, formerly Natalie Holland, again, eyeing only the title. Kehlani Jordan taking advantage, though. Nice follow-up pin here. Kick out, though. Kehlani almost able to retain right there. Great arm drag takeover. Now taking arm control, keeping Tatum Paxley down. And we've had some subtle interactions with these two prior to the whole Barbie Dreamhouse set that literally was last week that set this matchup in the first place. But you never really know what's going through Tatum Paxley's mind when she simply just stares at you.
That's fair, but then again, you don't really know what's going through any psychotic person's mind when they just stare at you.
Jordan right now, deep arm drag, tornado variation off the ropes. Tatum Paxley, though, Matrix, escape, bend back. Whoa, wow!
Nice somersault leg drop there by Kehlani Jordan.
Apparently, she was not taken off her game by that weird Matrix escape. Corkscrew plunge up by Kehlani over the top, wiping Tatum Paxley on the outside.
Definitely showing off some of that gymnastics background with that corkscrew and that somersault leg drop.
Now, of course, we know the title collector's hands be a pin bar submission inside the ring, while Tatum might be looking for a reprieve underneath, a place that she's very familiar and comfortable with, as we've seen in the past. And Kehlani Jordan right now, again, is she looking for Tatum Paxley? Is she taking off her game?
Oh, there's the doll. The doll that Tatum has been playing with to represent Kehlani.
Yeah, and broken half. And meanwhile, Tatum with the inverted shot block to the front of Kehlani Jordan's leg, taking her out like a predator. Can Kehlani Jordan get back in this? Tatum Paxley creating a weakness here. Stay tuned here on SJB Fox Television. Man, again, for what Tatum Paxley is as an athlete, she's actually shown great in-ring IQ when it comes to the mental game in such a short period of time. It truly is something amazing.
Agreed. Both these women, honestly.
And Kalani joined, of course, again. You talked about her being with him. I mean, I figure if you're with Carmel Hayes, who let's not beat around the bush here. The Casanova of the independent scene before coming to NXT, tons of prior wrestling experience. That's a great person to have some tutelage from.
Oh, no doubt.
And of course, Kalani Jordan again is the inaugural NXT North American Women's Champion. Of course, this title was literally just established this year out of the NXT Combine, testing the athletes' speed, agility, strength, and conditioning, which of course allowed many of them to be part of qualifying matches. Kalani Jordan was in like the top 5 of the overall scores. Of course, the overall best score was Saruka, and that was her first opponent. That matched her move for move, gymnastic ability versus gymnastic ability, and came this close to beating her at Heatwave in what honestly is a sleeper match for rising women in wrestling. I was absolutely astonished.
As was I, man. That was one of my favorite matches that evening.
That was one of my favorite women's matches this year. And considering I watched Stardom, Marigold, TNA, WWE, NXT, Ring of Honor, AEW, that speaks a whole lot about us. Not to mention Mission Pros. Of course, we added that to the schedule. And speaking of Mission Pro, represent La Mara Thunder Rosa, who's in action Saturday. One of her greatest students, and Maddie Wazowski, Wynn Sinclair, will be in action later tonight, as we talked about, against Kendall Gray, another new athlete. And of course, still so much more to come. Of course, we have the NXT Tag Team Champions on the line, the NXT Championship on the line, the Battle of the Joes, Joe Coffey versus Joe Hendry, in the name of Scotland Pride. If nothing else, we saw Scotland Pride last night with Drew McIntyre, who feels exiled of past demons after beating CM Punk this past Saturday at SummerSlam, thanks to the count by Seth freaking Rollins. And again, we're on full commercials, so we're just, basically bringing people up to speed. And of course, last night we also saw the fall from SummerSlam. We now know officially our first match with Bass at the Berlin. It will be the new World Heavyweight Champion Gunther defending the gold against the one person that has left a blemish on the Ring General's near perfect main roster record, Randy Orton, as of course the shoulders are not cleaned down back at King of the Ring. The referee saw it, you saw it, I saw it, we called it, and Triple H saw it. And in a way, I'm sure Gunther was aware of it. So now we're going to finally put that to rest in Gunther's home country of Germany. I cannot wait to call that match. So the fact that Randy Orton compared that as a modern day Rick of the Dragon Steel versus Ric Flair, there's a lot of truth behind that, honestly, when I look at both the men and the way they wrestle in the ring and the way they are so technically gifted and proficient and innovative. I like that analogy a lot now that I think about it.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to that as well.
When you
Speaking of Randy Orton, it was made official today that the October 1st and 8th episodes of NXT on the CW will be on location. The first in Chicago, the 8th in St. Louis. CM Punk will be part of the NXT broadcast from Chicago, and Randy Orton will be part of the NXT broadcast from St. Louis, Missouri.
And of course, that is when NXT moves to CW, and it's no longer the white and gold. It is the white and orange, as you see by the graphic. Kalani Jordan right now literally hobbling on one leg, escaping out of submission, while Tam Patsy is once again attacking that left hamstring. And now Fisherman hook. Oh, wait a minute. Reversal by Kalani. The shoulders down. And nice escape there by Tatum Paxley. Having to really fight through the pain. Ooh! Great escape off that Enziguri. Modified ankle lock here, and a heel hold by Kalani Jordan, looking to apply her own submission. And pass right now, picked up speed. And wow, God!
Both women had the same idea. Both women down in the ring here. Referee checking on both of them.
And you see Tam Paxley right now, though. I think she's still got the bell. Hold on.
I see someone else coming from the back here. Looks like Wendy Chu.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
She's grabbing the doll.
Ever since this woman woke up from a nightmare that she's still right now living. I'm not even sure, again, what to make of this connection with Tatum Paxley and Wendy Chu as of late. Kalani Jordan
I
able
gotta
to
admit, I do like this darker side of Wendy Chu.
Oh, I agree 110%. You kidding me? The former Karen Q, Wendy Chu, now literally channeling, I feel like, dark inner demons towards whatever she's trying to do here in NXT. Maybe she's trying to literally wake up the world towards who she is. And again, that handspring unable to execute due to the damage to the leg. Tatum Patsy looking to capitalize. Kalani Jordan, reversal. Look at the leg. Triple legs. 2 counts.
I thought Kaylani was going to have it there.
Ooh. Big flatliner there, though. Kalani Jordan still finding a way to continue to fight for the pin in this match. And it looks like right now no one does like Kalani split leg drop, crash and burn. Think about that split leg moonsault again. All the impacts on that damaged knee. Now Tatum Patsy to the top. What the hell is she looking for here? 450 splash connects. Cover. Do we have a new champion? No, 2.5. Wow. I can't believe how close Tatum Patsy came to becoming the NXT Women's North American Champion in that split moment. She's got to continue to follow up here. Again, going for a submission. Deep arm drag takeover, though, by Tatum Paxley again. Or excuse me, Kalani Jordan to Tatum. Tatum slips out between the ropes. And again, takes the leg off of Kalani. Pinpoint perfect kicks the already damaged left leg. Been a hell of an effort by the challenger here. Kalani, though, still trying to stay on the attack. Yeah, Patsy will not be denied. Neither will Kalani Jordan here tonight. Kalani again trying to find her footing, trying to find an opening, staring face to face at the challenger. What the hell is about to happen here?
Spanish fly.
Spanish fly! Avalanche Spanish fly off the top rope. And Kalani again. She's only got one leg, but she's going for it here. A big frog splash out the corner. Kalani Jordan did it again. Man, Kalani truly can do anything, even on one leg. Kalani Jordan with her second defense of the NXT Women's North American Championship, JJ.
And they used to say Mello don't miss. I think it's safe to say Lonnie don't lose right now.
Well, again, look how close Tatum Patsy was. Picture perfect 450 splash. Deep hook of the damaged leg. 2 9/10 from a new champion. Somehow finding enough of a balance with that avalanche Spanish fly. And look at the way she launched off 1 foot off that frog splash. Extremely impressive effort by Kalani Jordan to retain her championship. Tatum Patsy again, though, showing what sort of athlete she is. Yeah, again, I don't understand what any of this means. But someone tell me Kalani Jordan still needs to be aware of this nightmare that walks the scene.
Oh,
wait a minute! What the hell?
Wendy Chu's got her locked in a sleeper hold.
I don't know if she left her in a sleeper hold or just ripped her off the steps, man. Again, Wendy Chu right now has literally become NXT's nightmare, and Kalani Jordan was staring her eye to eye. That's a very disturbing sight.
Meanwhile, backstage, we got the No Quarter Catch crew, Miles Bourne, Charlie Dempsey, and Ren Sinclair. Ren asking where Tavion is, and Dempsey reminding her that he's in Japan as part of the N1 tournament.
N1 Victory, by the way, of course. And of course, you all can watch that courtesy of Wrestling Universe and watch Pro Wrestling Noah. Become a subscriber today. Check out their promotion along with so many other great promotions out of Japan.
How has Tavion been doing? I know you've been keeping up on it. Like I said, I only saw that little clip, and it looked like he was whooping some ass there. But you being a follower and probably seeing the full matches, how's he doing?
Well, considering that he's already been nicknamed Mr. Olympian, he's been holding up rather well. And, of course, the winner of the N1 Victory will get a chance at the GHC Heavyweight Championship. Not to mention who's being called the Destroyer, Josh Briggs right now, has been wrecking shop. And, of course, the N1 Victory literally had just started most recently. I believe Tavion Heights has competed in only his first match. And while he didn't win, he had an amazing effort against Tyus Alexander. And, of course, the M1 works the same way as the G1. 2 points for a win, 0 for a loss. But it's about that moments you create that demonstrate are you worthy of being in this field again? So far, I think Taylor and Josh Briggs both have held up to that, both with 0.
It's all right.
Oh
Femi
boy.
walking right through the family and the no quarter catch crew with a purpose.
Well, we talked about before how right now the ruler has nobody to oppose him. And why was David Frazier on the phone? Oh, and by the way, Josh Briggs, he actually is on the board with 2 points, beating Wia Oira. Both men had about a 9.5-minute match, but so far, Josh Briggs in his block, both men 7 blocks, by the way, he's on the board.
Good shit.
And again, folks, you can follow the M1 Victory courtesy of Wrestling Universe. And I'll keep you up to date as we do open mic nights and other coverage here. I'll give you another update either this Saturday or next week. Still looking at 9, of course, Ora Menzel looks to claim the most important 1, 2, 3 of his entire career. Can he dethrone the era of All Eagle? All Eagle Page defends the NXT champion against Ora Mensa. Next on NXT. Full commercial, fuck television. Well, I will say this. Again, Tatum Paxley, she is one of those unique athletes that channels so much. We talk about Rosemary. I talk about Daphne, R.I.P. You talk about those that played the mental game more than the physical game and demonstrated how technically sound they are in both facets. Tatum Paxley shows me a lot of that. But now this, I guess you could say, subtle message or betrayal unaware for her by Whitney Chu. Now this just makes even more things confusing for me because we know Tatum Paxley talked about how she's always been, used, misused, forgotten, etc. And now she fought her closest ally, I guess, just literally took her neck away from her off the steel ring steps. So where do we go from here with all 3 of these women? I have no idea. Very weird.
Be curious to see how things progress from here, to be sure.
Yeah, right. I didn't expect that. I honestly didn't expect that to happen. So
you know what I didn't expect, Noah?
What?
I didn't expect for the NXT title match to be the end of hour 1, start of hour 2. That means either the tag titles or the Battle of the Joes is going to be our main event. Will they give the main event to the return of MSK, or will they give the main event to the one, the only Joe Hendry?
Again, damn you, JJ, you did it on purpose. Anyway, just to give you a heads up real quick on what's next for both your men from NXT. Josh Briggs is going to take on former multiple-time GAC heavyweight champion, literally a living embodiment face of pro wrestling, Noah Go Shiosaki, of course, who had a great rivalry literally against Kino earlier this year for the GAC heavyweight championship. And also, he won last year's M1 victory. And Josh Briggs will be in action August 10th from Corrigan Hall, taking on formerly part of Good Looking Guys. Of course, Jake Lee destroyed that group when he became a war dog. Bleh. He'll be taking on JM Morris. So stay tuned for more on that, folks. I'll keep you posted. And Taman Highs will be taking on Alpha Wolf the same night. And so stay tuned for more on the M1 victory. For those that don't know, it's the most prolific professional wrestling tournament out of the Pro Wrestling NOLA promotion. It runs through August 4th and culminates on September 1st in Edion Arena, Osaka. And it has competitors not just from NXT, but from Dragon Gate as well. If you want to know more about that tournament, I can educate them later. Again, learn what Japanese professional wrestling is, folks. You won't regret it. Anyway, what was the whole thing backstage with the family and no quarter catch crew? And at this point, Winston Clare, I guess she's lobbying once again for Charlie Dempsey and Miles Bourne to be in her corner. And of course, we know that the Dawn of NXT is still the holder of the Heritage Cup, but Open Family just walking right through them. You gotta consider that the ruler right now is getting impatient for somebody to step up towards his throne. Even if the results are gonna be the same, what's a ruler without a kingdom to literally show his power before his subjects, I think he's getting impatient for competition.
Quite possibly. I mean, you got to figure No Mercy is coming up the beginning of September 1st.
Right.
Gotta make sure that he's on that show defending his title. I do think that saving Obafemi for the pay-per-views, the PLEs, is the right thing to go. But yeah, we gotta start building something up for him.
Something! I actually wouldn't mind seeing that match. I think that would be very interesting. Especially if Jay Something doesn't qualify for the Extra Championship Ultimate X match. And of course, he is a former participant involved in Ultimate X. Let's not forget, he came back last year at Slammiversary in Ultimate X. So he knows very well what that environment is like and what you need to do to try and become champion. He just has yet to actually do it. I do think there is something ahead for something. I just don't know when. But he needs something. Clearly. I know.
How many times can Noah say something while talking about something?
Well, I mean, that's something you could count.
He's done saying that he's just proved that he's ready to challenge for the
Whoa,
NXT
wait a
title.
minute!
And we got a brawl backstage. Trick Williams trying to get him some more of Pete Dunne.
Clearly, these two have not figured out who's worthy to challenge the NXT Championship yet.
Well, I think we just got an idea of something that may happen at No Mercy, sir.
Not sooner, because again, how you keep those two men separated at this point after what happened earlier. As we go back inside the arena regarding that very title, time for the NXT Championship match with Ora Mensa taking on All Ego with Page. Can this man get the 1, 2, 3 when it matters the most and end the era of All Ego? Ora Mensa's biggest chance to date in his career.
You know, ominous by his absence as of late has been Noam Dar. You got to wonder if he's going to make a return here. Oro Mensah getting a title shot, a world title shot, no less.
Yeah.
And Noam Dar having been on the back burner, completely MIA. Gotta figure that's not sitting too well with the ego that Noam Dar has.
Well, again, how much has it been stewing in the champion's crawl where his ego's been bruised each week as he's been pinned for the 1, 2, 3 count? Here's our NXT champion. And Walter Cruz, of course, talked about there's something behind that smile, something sinister indeed. Of course, All Ego Page literally came to NXT and in less than 3 months has now become the face of your brand, JJ.
And I'm stoked for him, man.
I mean, again, trained, tested, veteran of the game. All Ego Page, let's not, just beat around the bush here. This guy's an all-rounder. He's been all around this business for 17 years. And right now, All Ego Page, of course, being reminded about that 1, 2, 3 by the self-called main man. Let's go Dynamite Rome for introductions here.
Dwayne says, new game. Every time Noah says something, you have to take a shot.
I'm straight edge. I don't endorse drinking on this channel, not even after dark. I still hate that group name with a burning passion. TikTok Regis, of course, who lost against Isla Dawn and Alba Fire last week for the NXT, or excuse me, I still missed those. The WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. And of course, Blair Davenport assisted Isla Dawn and Alba Fire this past Friday against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. The unholy union has grown even stronger with the top Ganjin. Referee, of course, holding up the NXT Championship, won by All Ego Page during that fatal 4-way match off a trick shot advantage. And might I add, he won like he was unconscious. Still baffles me. All right, Ormez is stepping up. Here we go, JJ. And of course, this brewing rivalry with these two literally goes back to All Ego's impactful debut when he wasn't even signed to NXT, wiping out the metaphor. Noam Dar the very first, but Ora Mensa the second. An uppercut here by Ora Mensa. Ora Mensa, formerly part of the hottest tag team under the sun with Ashton Smith, formerly called Oliver Carter. Ora Mensa, again, has been successful in WWE, former NXT UK Tag Team Champion.
Very cool, very cool. And a friendly reminder to our fans, next week, Raw and NXT return to the USA Network. No more Sci-Fi Channel, thank God.
Yeah, amen to that.
Huge
Big
hit
PK.
there.
And a cover here from the Nigerian gets a 1 count. Or Mensa right now on site against All Eagle Ethan Page here. Finally getting his hands on Ethan Page with the NXT Championship as an accessory. All right, out from the corner. Knife edge chop follow up here. All Ethan Page, by the way, is the current 31st NXT champion in this brand's history. Big forearm smash. And knife edge chop. I mean, again, let's also keep in mind, All Ethan Page made history. He won the title quicker than anyone at any point here in this brand's history. He beat Kevin Owens' record.
That's crazy.
Right? And Ora Mensa just lining up the chest of All Eagle in the corner. I've never seen Ora this fired up, though, in his career, let alone this determined or confident. Oh, wait. Hey, wait a minute. The sit down. 2 count for Ethan Page. Sleep of the leg, though. All Eagle, though, catches the apron. Ora falling up again. Single leg kick. Drives Ethan farther away from the apron. Who's walking out here with the NXT Championship? Can the main man get the 1, 2, 3? Stay tuned. Fuck television. Again, this channel sucks so damn hard with how many more commercials it has. I hate it. I hate. And let's be honest here. Nobody right now is expecting Ora Mensa to win the NXT Championship, JJ.
Well, no, I kid.
I'm about to say, come on.
No, I definitely don't think he's winning.
So I have for 31 days.
But I think there could be some shenanigans here. Like I said, you got to figure Oro Mensah, Jakara Jackson, and Lash Legend, regardless of how you feel about them, TikTok rejects, whatever, they've been getting a babyface reaction as of late since the absence of Noam Dar.
They don't have that obnoxious narcissist with them, so I guess that does help.
So I could see Noam Dar returning, costing Oro Mensah the match, and then you spiral a Mensah Dar feud.
Yeah, I suppose that could be a thing. But also right now with the numbers game in play, you know Sean Spears has a different itinerary right now with Brooks Jensen trying to guide the lost, the uneducated, the youthful, and probably in Sean Spears' mind, immature and vulnerable up-and-comers here in NXT versus Cedric Alexander. You do wonder, though, with the fact they also are Canadians, if Sean Spears might come to All Ethan Page aid. In a way, you could almost thank Sean Spears for the fact that All Ethan Page is the NXT champion.
That's fair.
Just looking at both sides there. Again, we got a full commercial break here. Picture a little bit here. And right now, All Ethan Page with a short range clothesline taking advantage of our immense here. Again, NXT Championship on the line. Slick on the night. NXT Championships are on the line. Battle of the Joes. Joe Hendry versus Joe the Coffee. And I believe that's everything. Oh, that's right. Win Sinclair takes on Kendall Gray. I almost said Kendall J for some reason. Wow, God, what a bad body drop. Jesus, up in the lights.
I'm still on a full commercial.
Hey, you let me know what you see. Oof, man, a big suplex by Ethan Page. Here's a cover with the leg middle of the ring. Imagine if he won there. 2 count. That would have been funny. I'm not going to lie. Oh, good Lord. And Ethan Page, once again, back in control here of Ora Mensa. Probably been waiting to get his hands on Ora for months now regarding the bruising to his ego being counted 1, 2, 3, not just by him, but by an NXT referee. Saying that it's not official unless the referee counts the 3, and then the referee counted 3 when the match wasn't even going on. As far as I'm concerned, you put a man for 3, you put a man for 3.
That's fair.
NXT Championship, of course, the lineage this title had ever since the very first champion, Seth freaking Rollins. And of course, those that took advantage when opportunity presented itself, like Kevin Owens, like Samoa Joe, and of course, like Trick Williams, when he finally was able to beat the fire-breathing dragon, Ilya Dragunov, who was able, of course, to finally win the NXT Championship against Carmelo Hayes. last year in a match of the year candidate at No Mercy. To your point, No Mercy, of course, will be the next time we cover NXT here at the beginning of September. We are back here right now, full on screen here. Ora Mensah trying to fight back against Elizabeth Page, who has been trapped in a bear hug center of the ring. Biggest match of Ora Mensah's career.
Ora Mensah finally able to get that separation, but to no avail. Ethan Page goes right back after him. Great kick by Mensah.
And we're probably in the same, by the way. Hey. And Ora Mensah right now looking to follow up the second rope. Oh my God! Got kicked out of midair off the moonsault. Great scouting by the champion. Hoisting him up into a Dominator. Covered by Ethan Page for a 2.5. Damn. The fact that Ethan Page used Ora Mensah's own momentum against him twice in the span of 6 seconds, JJ, speaks volumes of the champion, even if you don't like what he has to say often.
I've got nothing against All Ego Ethan Page. I think he's a great wrestler, and it's about time that a promotion knows how to use him.
Well, you look at every promotion. It's not like they know how to use every form of their talent. I mean, it's just the fact of the matter is there's too much good in this business, and the boogers don't know what to do with it. It's a flaw in the entire business across the board that never will be solved because you just can't come up with enough creativity for everybody and give enough TV time, and I'm not talking about that fucking learning tree, to everybody in this business, sadly. But hey, as long as you're signed, you're making money, and you're also trying to establish a family, more power to you. Nice suplex takeover
there by Mensah.
Yeah, but again, favoring the small of the back of those back body drops. Massive overhead body drops on the floor and, of course, in the ring. Ora Mensah, though, trying to fight back here, trying to tee up against Elizabeth Page. Caught the kick. Runs through him with the lariat. Ora Mensah fired up here, trying to build momentum. Elbow to the point of the head. Gets the midsection. Jab. Axe kick. Trying to put the champion away. Here's the cover. Hook the leg. 2 count again. Elizabeth Page just able to kick out. The Great American Bash presented by Mint Mobile. Great American Bash coverage presented here by JMN Multiverse of Media. Again, fuck television. And of course, we are doing all the content this week, covering all the companies and all the weekly shows from Raw to NXT to Dynamite to TNA to, of course, Friday Night SmackDown to Saturday Collision. You're getting content 6 days a week here regarding live watch events in wrestling. I don't know how this is happening.
It's happening because we's a crazy.
I did not make this happen. I just want to say I may be the craziest person here. I did not make this happen. I just want to put that out there. Elizabeth Page right now looking to hook up Ora Mensah. I sense disaster if he would have connected with that suplex to the outside. Ethan Page rocked though. Ora Mensah on the inside second. Ethan Page right now dazed on the outside second. Awkward positioning here for the champion. Big headbutt though creates separation. NXT Universe on their feet here. Whoa! What the hell? That's like a Matrix-esque kick off the ropes underneath Ethan Page's jaw. The follow-up tope drives the champion hard on the announce table.
And Mensah's fired up here. If he can just capitalize, he could get the championship.
It only takes 3 seconds. He's done it before. He doesn't do it one more time. Big kick overhead, coffin kick. Calendar in the cover, kick out.
It was almost like a Rainmaker Pele kick there.
Yeah, overhead coffin kick, roll through forward kick to the head there off the ripcord lariat position. Again, throwing Ethan Page off there. Ethan Page back up though, Ora Mensah and Ethan Page teeing off against each other here, throwing everything they have left. Big forearm though by Ora. Ora sent up and over on the apron again though by Ethan. Caught with Inzaguri back of the head, or Gamaguri, excuse me. Ora Mensah, springboard, single leg kick, thrust kick, drives the champion to the outside. And Mensah's got to remember, he can't win while Ethan Page is out there. Ora Mensah, though, with the running drop kick in between the bottom and middle ropes, driving even further away from the ring. He has to bring him back inside. Again, the era of All Ego is in great danger here tonight against the main man, self-called of NXT. If he gets one last 1, 2, 3. And these two far away from me as possible, almost at the picnic tables.
I was going to say, they're getting up there by the main entryway.
Oh, no! Golly. And those solid picnic tables are harder than the announcing, I assure you. And even Page looking to test it. Driving Aura with an Eagle's Edge through it. That's it. That's it. You can just take the count at this point. That's got to be it. And apparently, Oliver Page does not want this match to end via countout. He wants that definitive 1, 2, 3. Bruised Eagle in play here. Follow up DDT. Shoot the half. Here we go. Lateral press in the cover. 2 count only for the champion. Still fight left somehow in the challenger here, JJ.
I can't believe it. I thought that was going to be it for Oro Mensah.
Yeah, you see right now where Mensah's fingers trembling. Might be trying to get feeling back in them. As the NXT Universe tries to will back in Oro Mensah here, feeling that their NXT brand has been stolen from them. And right now, might be looking for Eagle's Edge again. Wait, the schoolboy, the roll up 2. Oh! Super kick. There's schoolboy. One more time. Shoulders down. 2 count again. Whoa, man. Spiking the champion at DDT. Or has got to believe that he can get the 1, 2, 3 when it matters the most. Got to close that gap. Got to follow in. Running in with that kick. Champion is down.
But under the rope, though.
And to your point, referee in perfect position to see it as he hooked the near leg only. Poor awareness by the challenger. Can't argue with that call there. Official in perfect position. And again, that just sucks right now for Mensah. Mensah, though, has to know he's in control, has to stay forward here. Bring him towards center. Go for something big. And try to put Ethan Page down for the 3 count. Springboard.
Oh.
Botch! Lost its footing. That's why it's called high risk, folks. Pump kick by All Eagle Ethan Page. And that might be the death note towards the champion's chances. Hoisted up again. Razor's Edge position. Eagle's Edge connects. 1, 2, 3 for All Eagle Ethan Page. And he retains his title.
Kind of feel bad for Oro. This match was a hell of a match. That little slip is essentially what did him in.
It takes only 3 seconds, but it only takes 1 moment to turn the tide, and All Eagle Page did just that. And take a look at this again.
Ego's Edge through the picnic table.
That was an awkward crash for the picnic table, too. That was not flush in the back. And to your point again, way too much risk taken by Oro Mensah there with that last big attempted springboard. And even Page followed up with the pump kick and an emphatic Eagle's Edge to finally get on Oro Mensah his own 1, 2, 3. We still live in an era of All Ego. Hey, Ava Rain, you heard that, right? I'm just saying.
Yep, All Ego's saying that he doesn't care who's next, whether it's Trick Williams, whether it's Pete Dunne. This isn't NXT. This is NX Me.
Oh, good Lord. The ego of this man is running wild. And as we go backstage with Kelly Kincaid with the Rascals and the, of course, returned MSK. Saying we would never thought this would actually come. I put it into words. What are they? What are they, Wesley? Yeah. Poof. To your point, JJ, they never lost the titles.
Mm-hmm.
And Wesley was fortunate enough to really branch out on and win a North American title.
Arguably one of the most prophetic North American champions there's been.
No doubt there.
And you think about the history of the North American Championship, that's a bold statement.
Tonight, though, it's his moment. There's a moment.
I'm telling you, dude, could you imagine if MSK pick up the titles here tonight and then the Rascals proper pick up the tag titles over in TNA and Zachary Wentz has got 2 tag titles? Wesley and Trey Miguel each have 1.
Well, I mean, weirder things have happened, and I could certainly believe that being an outcome as that's our main event. But do you believe, because coming up next when we get back on NXT Fuck Television, it's the Battle of the Joes, Joe Coffey and Joe Hendry. What the hell is this? It's a Superstar highlight for a commercial? Again, when Obafemi...
I think it's for No Mercy.
Oh, yeah, you nailed it. She just said Mercy. Yep. Someone told me Little Vice is going to have a big part in No Mercy after a commercial like that. And considering the warfare right now in the NXT Women's Division, Denver, Colorado is in for a very heated night. And of course, we'll be covering that here Sunday, September 1st on JMN Multiverse Media. Stay tuned for more on that. That being said, folks, I will say this. Ora Mensa, it was a hell of an effort. But again, you take one too many risks, and you got to consider how easy it is to lose your footing on the rope, especially with how much you've been pushing your body into it. You give your opponent a chance to capitalize, and that's what Ora did. In a way, Ora's ego cost himself.
Yep.
As we just heard, the NXT Tag Team Championship match will be our main event, by the way, to your point earlier. And again, MSK are former Dusty Cup winners and 2-time Tag Team Champions. Last time they had them was for a cup of coffee, literally 6 days before they didn't. And then Wesley was here by himself and became one of the most prolific NXT North American champions, honestly, in the North American titles history. But right now, there's a ruler waiting to see who will oppose his throne next. And I dare somebody bold enough and strong enough to step up towards him before the end of the night. I don't think it happens.
And again, man, it makes me wonder if the titles are going to change hands, because Shawn Michaels is a big fan of a major moment to end the show.
Of course.
You got the tag titles on the line in the main event. You've got the NXT and a crossover. What bigger moment could you have than a title change here? It's going to be interesting, man. And you know, there's been a lot of talk. Dwayne brings up the Hardy Boys showing up. There's been a lot of grumblings on the internet, and I know you don't scroll, you don't click.
Hell fucking.
So I'm just going to throw it out there for you. But considering some of the free agents that are already on the market and could potentially be on the market by the end of the month, there's a lot of people talking about come October 1st. Could we see the NXT debut of the Lucha Brothers? Could we see the NXT debut of the Motor City Machine Guns? Daniel Garcia, Ricky Starks. A lot of grumblings, a lot of talk, and especially when you figure that AEW wants to go toe-to-toe with NXT the following week. To have a contingent on NXT of ex-AEW stars, All Ego Ethan Page, your champion, Sean Spears is kind of a producer now. Wrestler producer. You've got Lexis Keene prominently featured. If the Lucha Brothers make their debut the week before, Cody Rhodes possibly making an appearance on that show as the champion, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, if they've got the titles back by then. There's a huge thing that could be done here, and I am here for it, man.
Again, it's always interesting to see what could happen across this entire business. And that being said, again, though, the more that you fit in one company, the more you have to figure out creative and booking. So again, while you're thinking about all these other names coming in, there's still a lot right now that is currently trying to be figured out here in NXT, including Jada Parker and Saruka with Ashante the Adonis trying to be ladies man, anything but.
It may not be Lola Vice, but I know Walter likes him some Miss Parker also.
And Lola Vice.
Speaking of, Walter's not here, so I'll do the gimmick one time. Mamacita!
Oh, good grief almighty.
Just once. Just for you, Walter.
Yeah, good effort by Thea Hale, but it wasn't her night.
I'm curious what it says on Jada's arm there for her tattoo. It looks like it's words or something, maybe psalm lyrics, maybe a Bible scripture.
Well, again, like really I said, with such a great ambition to be naturally collegiate in volleyball, and that was taken away from her, and she found a new path here in professional wrestling, I could definitely see that. Well, there goes the power bomb. I knew something was going to happen at a Lame Brain Barbecue.
Believe in the Shield.
Oh, good grief, JJ.
Was that not their move, the triple power bomb?
It was.
Okay, then.
All right, enough of this goggy shit. Let's go back into the ring where it matters. As the field is now in a Gallus green. Gallus talking about how Joe
and
Henry
just a heads up, sir, I am going to play the video when he comes out. So just make sure you get your words out in time.
I mean, literally, what do I need to say besides the fact that if you don't believe right now that Gallus still believes they're on top and Joe Hendry is still a joke, then I don't know what you've been watching, because I believe the exact opposite, where Joe Hendry right now has been on top of the entire wrestling world, and Joe Coffey and Gallus can't stand it.
This has got to be so hard for you, though, because I know you're a huge Gallus fan, and I know you were one of the first ones in the crew to believe in Joe Hendry.
Damn right. Again, it's a battle of Scottish broad. Terrorist in Tokyo, America's DNA back. I love it. Let's sing it, NXT faithful. You actually mattered to me for once. Do you believe in 250 pounds of pure motivation? The answer to all those questions, the most prolific digital media champion and bound to be future TNA World Champion. Motivating the masses tonight, NXT GAB. There is only one Joe Hendry. I love it. It's the most I've ever seen NXT in my life. Oh, man. And again, if you don't like that song, fuck off. King, you're still a hater, but I love you, bro. We have ATW for life. But seriously, man. NXTNA defined by Joe Hendry. I love it.
Still waiting for the Jeff Meacham Network to make the NXTNA shirt.
Bravo, bravo,
Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Starts right off throwing his own body over the top rope, taking out Wolfgang and Mark Coffey on the outside, and then a European uppercut to Joe Coffey as he tries to bring the fight to him.
Well, I guess Joe Hendry is more motivational than I thought for himself than the NXT universe is for him. But that's a great move. He just neutralized the numbers game for now and focus on Joe Coffey. Just caught him with a pop-up uppercut. And again, let's not underestimate Joe Coffey. Leader of the firm, the Gallus firm, the Iron King. This guy literally went into a knockout or tap-out match against Rampage Brown one point NXT UK. And again, big
these guys no strangers, right? From their time in the Scottish wrestling circuit.
Exactly. Nice pop-up corkscrew elbow drop, the cover by Joe Coffey for a 2 count. I have a feeling I'm going to confuse the names of Joe tonight, so if I do, forgive me, folks. And again, I mean, what's the reason that Joe Coffey has such hatred towards Joe Hendry? You would think the fact they're both Scots here, making it in the biggest company in the world, making their own impact, he would actually be happy to see that. Now, truth be told, Joe Hendry has had a better impact than Joe Coffey has since he's been involved in NXT, but that's a whole different conversation. Oof. Irish whip, reversal Irish whip. Joe Coffey set in the corner. Boot up, though. Coffey again, springing up. Second rope, top rope. Oh, and
Joe Hendry almost pulling a Samoa Joe and just walking away from the high-risk maneuver there by Coffey.
And he hoisting up Joe Coffey and brings him down from the stalling vertical suplex position. Joe Hendry again is showing exactly why he has been 250 pounds of pure motivation since his arrival in NXT, and prior to that, his birth in TNA. As he said on Chris Finley's podcast, the character was born through TNA wrestling. You gotta be tremendously respectful of what Joe Hendry has accomplished in such a short time here in WWE through this NXT TNA crossover.
Yeah, no doubt. And apparently TNA has worked out an insanely great deal with WWE that allows Joe to work out and train at the Performance Center on his downtime.
That just goes to show the trust they have in Joe Hendry and the fact that WWE believes in him as well. Yeah, I was
exactly. So I mean, for a guy like Joe Hendry, who's already an accomplished performer, to be getting the training from guys like Matt Bloom, Shawn Michaels on a consistent daily basis, when you figure TNA really works 2, maybe 3 days a month.
And if that, again, do you believe that Joe Hendry belongs in NXT? Stay tuned, as in control. Fuck television to hell, as we got a full commercial break here during the most important match of the night for me. Damn it. Fuck friggin' television. Anyway, again, though, I think that just goes back to, again, that trust, that connection, that belief in Joe Hendry that he's created amongst the fans here all across the world, in and out of any company. He even said himself, you say his name, he appears. Anywhere, any stage, anytime, any company. Again, Joe Hendry, a tested vet of the game, 11 years, figured out his own way. Of course, former TNA Digital Media Champion, held that title for 266 days across 15 defenses, including 2 successful defenses against the former TNA World Champion, Moose, and he is the reason why the system has been taken down. He ensured we had a new TNA World Champion at Summerversary, eliminating Moose.
Yep, before the walking weapon turned heel and eliminated Joe Hendry.
Fucker. Again, dude, freaking hater. I cannot believe he did that. And Joe Hendry, again, though, he's a guy that doesn't hold a grudge, just like Flop Dollar when he first invaded TNA. He put him in his place with a great rendition by Creed. He used Creed, damn Joe Hendry. And the fact of the matter is, Joe Hendry, he's a guy that saw his things the right way. In the ring. Not like a petulant child that goes on the Twitch and believes they can say whatever they want because they have a keyboard at their fingertips. You know who you are. That being said, I respect Joe Hendry and how he's handled this situation, along with TNA's situation, the fact that he missed out on the biggest opportunity in his career, becoming the TNA World Champion. But he is still dedicated to becoming that in TNA. And I do believe it can happen. But right now, of course, we are in the Nick Nemeth era, rightfully earned and deserved. And currently, he's got at least 4 targets right now facing him based on what we saw in TNA Impact last week.
Yeah, no doubt.
And of course, Joe Coffey, like I said, known as the Iron King, leader of the firm, a trademark face, of course, of the NXT UK brand, and why he never won the championship. He had some of the damnedest, meanest fights down there, of course, in his time in NXT. Joe Coffey has not held gold, by the way, since 2019, when he was the Y Division champion back for Discovery Wrestling, a promotion out there, of course, in their local homeland. Former ICW World Heavyweight Champion 2 times over. Of course, ICW was a longtime partner, still probably is, with WWE. In fact, that's where a lot of the NXT UK talent came from in the first place. And we talked about...
Love getting this history lesson from you, sir.
No, I try. And again, Joe Coffey, former challenger against Pete Dunne for the NXT UK Championship, former challenger against the Lean General Walter for the NXT UK Championship, former challenger for, of course, the Heritage Cup. He was, of course, involved in the North American Championship triple threat. The thing of the matter is, though, we have not seen Obafemi go one-on-one against Joe Coffey. We saw what Joe Coffey was willing to do to try and make a one-on-one situation, but not against Oba, it seemed. Against Wesley, thanks to Dallas in his corner. It's almost one of those things where I think no matter what the result of this match is, maybe Joe Coffey can try and oppose the ruler of NXT. As we are back here in NXT with the Battle of the Joes. Hendry versus Coffey here. Joe Hendry in the waist lock here. Back elbow strike, though. Try to break the hold. And Joe Coffey attacking the small of the back after kabonging it with that brick guitar that he came out with. Nice sunset flip, though, by Joe Hendry. Ankle pick, though, tipped catapult or bursting crab by Joe Coffey. Whoa! And Hendry creating separation. Again, this is found on the fact that Joe Hendry feels that Joe Coffey has shown no respect towards him. Oh!
And
Man.
to your point, if Joe Hendry is able to win here, could he potentially be in line for a shot at the ruler Obafemi and the North American title?
What the hell is Gallus doing? And Joe Hendry finding off the Gallus firm, Mark Coffey and Wolfgang. They're using everything to his advantage. Wait a minute here. And Hendry right now, the mental game. Oh, wait, ref, look what happened. Look what happened.
Little lie, cheat, and steal action. Shades of Eddie Guerrero.
Hey, caught with a smoking gun in hand. You're out of here. Ha ha. And this is why Joe Hendry is fucking brilliant. That was awesome. I mean, seriously.
Joe Hendry rolling back in while Coffey's distracted. Roll up.
Schoolboy, Joe Coffey, schoolboy, roll up by Joe Hendry gets a 2 count. This is now turned to one contest. Massive headbutt, though, by Coffey. Looking for our best for the bells. The discus lariat. Joe Hendry being able to punch off the ropes. And right now, Joe Coffey has a huge problem with Joe Hendry here in NXT. And it just got worse. Whoa, man! And now the audience chanting Journey. Don't stop believing. I agree. Hold on to that feeling. Beautiful faraway throw and kip up by Joe Hendry. Again. Believe! Booker T believes. I don't fucking believe it. See, King? Anyone can't believe. Stop believing, you idiot. And Joe Hendry.
The entire NXT faithful chanting, "We believe."
And that's a standing ovation! Joe Hendry with the win! What a performance! And once again, JJ, your brand NXT has once again been motivated to believe in unison in Joe Hendry. We all believe in what Joe Hendry can be here in NXT. Again, Joe Hendry made believers out of the referee, catching Gallus with the smoking gun in hand, ejecting Mark Coffey and Wolfgang from ringside, and it all fell apart from there for the Iron King as Joe Coffey was hoisted up for a standing ovation. Gallus boys on the bottom, Joe Hendry on top. I love it. And now let's go to the victorious Joe Hendry with an in-ring interview by Sheriff Schreiber. Whew. I don't think this is over. Do you believe it's over?
Joe's saying he likes it here and he wants to stay for a lot longer.
That might actually convince me to keep covering NXT on a weekly basis.
So there's people that are going to have a problem with that, and they can fight him right here next Tuesday.
Believe him, he will appear. Don't say his name. You will see Joe Hendry here in NXT. We are all believers here in the Multiverse of Media, and the entire NXT universe believes in Joe Hendry. I love it. All right, I'm sorry. I may have got a little bit biased there, but again, I believe. Oh, fuck me.
Apologize for my silence. I'm taking in this chase you moment.
Of course you are. Not going to say a word because I already gave my overall gratitude for your help. So that's all I need to do.
Being educated by my professor.
What the fuck? Did he just say that he got them a tag match against MSK? What? You've got to be fucking kidding me. So if I'm hearing this correctly, Rich Hall and Andre Chance are going to face the winners of tonight's NXT Tag Team Championship match for the gold in the near future, if not next week.
That works for me.
I'm sure it does for you, but this works for me as we go now back inside the NXT arena to women's action. And Winston Sinclair looking to prove she has catch as catch can be, alongside the No Quarter Catch crew, continuing to blackmail Charlie Dempsey because the Don will never hit a woman, quote unquote. All or nothing for Winston Sinclair at this point, because if Winston Sinclair doesn't get what she wants, she will expose the dirty secrets of Charlie Dempsey and what she saw that night. We're going to play singles action next when we return to NXT Book Television. Okay, now that I'm off my high, I'll say I'm off my high again. We all believe in Joe Hendry. That was so fucking good. Yeah, it sounds like if the Multiverse and Mia continue to want it, if Joe Hendry continues to maybe believe in it, and Steve Reliable will continue to call NXT on a weekly basis. And we'll see how far that goes. I'm just saying. That being said, great match, though, for Joe Hendry and Joe Coffey. Joe Coffey, again, got a little bit sidetracked by his rage, and it cost him. That was brilliant.
Well, it's all but been established and said by Jeff that as long as the NXT crossovers are happening, Tuesdays and Thursdays are a lock here, bruv.
Hey, that works for me. You know me. I'm crazy. I'll do it. Budget.
We know you are, good sir. We know you are.
And again, as we were talking about earlier with the watch-along trailer, why don't we go ahead and simply, as we get near the end here at 30 minutes, we'll dive down into our schedule for the total non-stop content week here at Multiverse Media. Again, after the night here on NXT, we are far from done here at the Multiverse Media. We'll keep you in tune with wrestling and entertainment through the rest of the week. You already saw Statboy Sports Bar earlier with Dory Lou. Coming up tomorrow, of course, is the Greg Cherry Show. You never know who's going to be on there or what weird laws might be discussed. You always can find it here Wednesday, 7 p.m. Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific. And then immediately following that, the live watch event schedule continues this week with AEW Dynamite. Matches include but not limited to MJF giving an eliminator for the AEW American Championship against Kyle Fletcher. And Bryan Danielson going one-on-one against the Last Outlaw, Double J, Jeff Jarrett in a no-disqualification match with special guests Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and more to follow as we continue our path to All In. Yeah.
We also know that the Bad Apple, Brian Keith, will be taking on Katsuyori Shibata with the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho, on commentary.
Oh, God. As long as Shibata breaks his arm again, I'm happy. And
so my question to you is, would you rather deal with the Learning Tree or Chase University?
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. You're wrong for that. You son of a bitch. You fucking suck, JJ. God, if I had to pick the worst of two evils, or the lesser of two evils, as the freaking oxymoron says. Let's see. Do I care about Chris Jericho right now in the midlife crisis tour? No. Have I ever cared about Big Bill? No. Do I think Brian Keith, who worships the ground Chris Jericho walks on, is better for his career? No. I believe Thea Hill has a little potential to one day be champion in NXT. And only because the fact that Thea Hill matters to me, I would take Chase U over the Learning Tree if I had to pick with the two.
We got him, everybody.
You fucker! You fucker! You fucker! Anyway, Thursday, as we continue here, the Dad's Not Always on Wrestling. They will be covering the top 10 songs by the Monkees here. Of course, that's Thursday, August 8th, 5 p.m. Standard Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, and then we'll shift gears back here at the JMN Live Watch event schedule for TNA Impact. Like jackass. On Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific, as the newest show continues to unfold in the Multiverse Media Friday, you get to ask me anything. Disney, wrestling, life, as far as he wants to go with that. You name it, he will answer it. Ask him anything. And then we are going to proceed with live watch event schedule for the turn of the original tribal chief, Roman Reigns, on Friday Night SmackDown, Friday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific. And we're going to move forward Saturday when we will collide in a Texas Bull Rope match with La Mera Mera Thunder Rosa, owner of Mission Pro Wrestling, and of course, the Virtuosa, Diana Peraza, who already has 3 victories over her. Long may she fucking reign! And of course, we will culminate this week with the weekly Saturday night shenanigans that are hosted by the Rank Wrestling JJ Williams that are open mic night. And that is your schedule ahead here this week on the JMN Multiverse of Media. Before Sunday, we actually rest, believe it or not.
And while we were doing all that, we did get a $2 super chat, Noah, from Emmanuel. He says, Noah, what is your favorite memory from Chase University?
Thea Hill's catch cam arm dissection clinic against Roxanne Perez, who again is on our level and still holds the NXT championship. It was her greatest test to date. And why she failed, she still participated well and proved a lot to me. Anyway, who the hell are all these women behind Stevie Turner and Robert Stone? Oh, what the fuck? Well, I don't know what the hell that was about. Anyway, Roxanne Perez not being part of this party, wise woman. And of course, I saw Sean Spears earlier with Brooks Jensen, again, trying to still guide this misguided soul or lost soul, I guess you want to call it. I don't know what the hell's happening to Brooks Jensen. And of course, Good Brothers, no strangers to parties or crashing parties. And, oh, well, I knew this was going to happen eventually. Well, I guess combustible elements finally hit the fan backstage at the Great American Bash Barbecue with Iron Savage 2.0 and the Good Brothers. I'm sure that will be a tag team match to come here as we, again, refocus now on what's important here. But to come next week, why don't we go ahead and talk about what's ahead for your brand when they cross over from USA to the CW, JJ?
Yep. Tuesday, October 1st, from the Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois, CM Punk will be part of the NXT broadcast. And the following Tuesday, from the Enterprise Center, St. Louis, Missouri, will feature none other than the Viper, Randy Orton.
And of course, WWE sets up for their first NXT live experiences in this brand's history since Shawn Michaels took over ahead of their CW, of course, premiere. Already been announced, already publicized by multiple outlets, including, to your point, the arrival and appearance of those mainstayed WWE superstars. As we go back into the NXT arena and get ready for women's singles action here with Wen Sinclair and Kendall Gray. Well, this should be an interesting match, considering what we saw last week from Kendall Gray, who's, of course, alongside her running mate here, Carly Bright. Again, Kendall Gray. We talked about what she brings forward in athleticism to NXT. Again, straight out of the NIL program, a 3-time NAIA champion for Life University, 2023 finalist for USA Wrestling's Women's Wrestler of the Year Award. So she has all the mat tools to definitely be something here in NXT. Looking to level up against Wen Sinclair, who, of course, is looking to prove her worth to No Quarter Catch Crew by any means necessary. Bell reigns are underway. This should be an interesting matchup here. NAIA, by the way, folks, is the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics. Wen Sinclair, of course, an all-rounder, of course, trained by La Mera Mera Thunder Rosa, who, of course, is a background cover in MMA and professional wrestling, and of course owns the Mission Pro Wrestling promotion. Of course, we'll be covering that here next week on the Multiverse of Media for Izzy Moreno's first defense of the Mission Pro Championship against La Rosa Negra. Good luck. Nice head scissors trap there by Winston Clare here. Again, it was Tony D'Angelo earlier that was talking about how, again, he would never hit a woman. Basically, maybe saying that maybe Charlie Dempsey should give Winston Clare a chance. I mean, you bring it up earlier last week for the Heritage Cup. Winston Clare fired up Taman Heights to the point he got a fall on the Don. It was when Taman Heights lost focus, though, that the Don was able to say, forget about it, hold on to the Heritage Cup.
He got a fall on the Don in less than a minute
Exactly.
when he got fired up by Ren Sinclair. Let's not undersell the amount of time it took him.
Yeah, Buzzy. And when Sinclair was the one that fired him up like that, it wasn't Charlie Dempsey, it wasn't Miles Bourne. And again, Miles Bourne has been taken over. That's crossbody out of the corner for a 2 count. Has later been tossed over by Carly Bright 2 weeks in a row now. And Kendall Gray, great arm drag takeover there, trapping the left arm of Winston Clare, preventing the hyperextension for the attempted Juju Katami maybe cross arm breaker. And Kendall Gray right now, of course, been really alongside Carly Bright. You can find these two more often than not backstage or on Level Up. Again, next in line athletes trying to become the future WWE superstars today. When Sinclair, though, trying to pick up speed here, the former Maddie Wenzowski. Oh, man! Jumping Bulldog X Factor almost covered here for a 2 count. When Sinclair, 4 years of overall wrestling experience, trained out, of course, of the Hybrid School of Wrestling. And
Same school that I believe that Izzy Moreno went to.
That is correct. And, of course, we saw that title defended at Mission Pro's last show, the very first show we covered here on Multiverse Media. And look at this attempted bow and arrow here by Winston Clare. And right now, Kendall Gray is screaming right now. She's being literally turned into a horseshoe. Modified bow and arrow using the bottom of her boots versus the top of her knees. And now transitioning into the normal full-on bow and arrow here. You see Charlie Dempsey and Miles Bourne watching on from outside. Might be impressed here by this, JJ.
Ren Sinclair has to be careful, though, to make sure her shoulders aren't down for the pinfall.
Yeah, and again, the fact that Kendall Gray was able to use momentum to literally roll forward for a cover. Nearly catching Winston Clare there. Back elbow strike there. And again, Kendall Gray trying to fight back into this match. And beautiful belly overhead suplex. Now on the outside, and Kendall Gray, once again, looking to bring Winston Clare back inside the ring. And Miles Bourne might want to be careful out there. And Kendall Gray, by the way, is the one that has flipped Miles Bourne twice in the past 2 weeks, folks, in case you're wondering. And again, Miles Bourne saying he's not scared. He looked a little scared of me. Nice takeover there by Kendall Gray. Hook of the leg and a 2 count.
Angle slam like takeover there.
What's Miles Bourne doing, though, on the apron? What's he doing here?
He's trying to get a little bit of retribution, trying to set things up for Ren Sinclair.
Weight slot, though, applied by Winston Clare. Double leg takedown, though, by Kendall Gray. Jackknife cover! Wait, reversal! And 2 count. You saw Charlie Dempsey trying. Oh, God, what a shot! Trying to get involved there. Man. Ooh! Driving Kendall Gray face first into the mat for the 3 counts.
And that is it. Another victory for the No Quarter Catch crew. Ren Sinclair getting the W here, and Charlie Dempsey actually looks a little impressed here.
I believe that's called the reality check, by the way, and that was definitely a reality check for Kendall Gray. And again, very impressive showing here by Winston Clare, showing that she can be catch cam, but also very forward, aggressive, and physical. Almost a 1%er also. Shades of the current NWA World Champion. Able to get the win here right in the middle of the ring. I mean, she might be what No Quarter Catch crew might need for some added momentum here in NXT. Especially trying to get Charlie Dempsey a rematch with the Don. And it looks like we got a superstar profile here, courtesy of Mint Mobile, as they always have to fill time.
The young OG, Javon Evans.
We already heard this last week. Must be a series.
Maybe part 2 of the one that we got last week.
Okay, I guess, you know what, I guess that's fair. I mean, again, you try and educate people on exactly who these individuals are, what drives them to this business, what drives them to be WWE superstars. Looking at last year's WWE Performance Center tryout tape, and of course, got rejected. And of course, made his way before NXT across promotions, including but not limited to DPW. And ever since arriving, the young OG's been bouncing into the hearts of NXT. I remember Lord Tensai. Of course, for those that don't know, that's Matt Bloom's old identity.
Along with Albert, Prince Albert, A-Train, the Hip Hop Hippo.
Keep going. Really fake.
I don't want to.
Yeah, should we just stop right there? Should we just stop right there? And of course, Matt Bloom is one of the coaches, of course, of the WWE Performance Center, alongside Norman Smiley and Sarah Del Amato. Why would you ask a 20-year-old that? Will you see yourself in 10 years? What the fucking question is that? Yeah, again, you've been seeing the young OG grow up in front of you in NXT, JJ. What's your initial impressions of him?
I see future right here. I see the same shit in Javon Evans that I saw in Mello, that I saw in Austin Theory when I first saw him.
And then we'll see here in a moment if we see new NXT Tag Team Champions, the Rascals, MSK, look to take back the gold for the third time. Our main event is next. Liberty Axiom, MSK, NXT Tag Team Championships next on NXT GAB. Oh, good Lord. I'm going to admit, though, Winston Clare, that was a vicious freaking right hook or forearm. She clocked Kendall Gray. That was one of the meanest shots I've seen Winston Matt Wenzowski at /Winston Clare, fuck W names, bring forward in a long time here. Even Charlie Dempsey's got to be impressed with that, being the son, of course, one William Regal who will know it's all about the power of the punch. No brass knuckles included. Shoot, if she had brass knuckles, she probably could have literally knocked Kendall Gray's jaw off. All right. Well, again, as we have another commercial break here, of course, here at the Multiverse Media, we don't just cover all the wrestling. We don't cover just all the freaking combat sports and sports. We also entertain you on a quarterly, monthly basis at times, whether we're gaming or whether we're using our voices at the expense of everyone's dignity, including me and Wills that breathe controversy. Why do I say these things? JJ, why don't you go ahead and show the outro of the things that we do at the Multiverse Media?
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Me and my freaking segue marketing butt.
Name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Believe in game shows. That was funny. You did that on purpose.
I did.
I didn't say his name, but hey, I'm always happy to hear and see Joe Hendry. That being said, yes, folks, here in the Multiverse Media, we engage in all sorts of forms of entertainment, including against ourselves, in the form of game shows and karaoke. The fact that we're going to do Monopoly, I'm just going to say this. I will be the banker. I will make sure things are called right down the middle, but someone make sure it's a virtual board, not a real board, because I feel like somebody's going to try and destroy it. Just saying.
I did that with the Joe Hendry thing because I saw one of the greatest trolls of all time today. Somebody on X posted a 3-hour and like 15-minute video. They were like,
God.
here you go. Here's the entire SummerSlam show. And it started off with, SummerSlam, and here's people arriving. Here's
That's
Cody
wrong.
and Pharaoh.
That's wrong.
And about 10 minutes in, it started Joe Hendry's theme song. And for the entire rest of the video, it was just Joe Hendry's Tron on loop.
That is beyond brilliant. That's the greatest Rick Roll type video I've ever heard of in my life. That is so damn brilliant.
So I was like, okay, we'll run the OMN specials, and then just before it gets to the warning about the ticker, boom, say his name, and he appears.
I believe in Joe Hendry. Oh my God, Lord forgive me. That is brilliant, JJ. Oh my gosh, and whoever did that deserves a medal. As we go,
well, here's Obafemi leaving the PC.
Well, speaking of medal.
Tony D defends the Heritage Cup next week against Charlie Dempsey. Obafemi.
And Win Sinclair's victory right now might just drive that motivation forward and give Charlie Dempsey what he needs to reclaim the Heritage Cup for the No Quarter Catch crew. As Obafemi was also telling us next week, he will be defending his NXT World Championship. Doesn't care against who, just wants somebody worthy that's willing to step up to him. And speaking of which, it seems like I'm covering NXT nowadays. I'll go ahead and hype it up. Eddie Foreman, Lexus King, they run it back. And something tells me that Lexus King is going to need more than just that stick this time to stop Eddie Foreman. And we do have an NXT Tag Team Championship match next week. Chase U gets another chance against the winners of the night's main event, either taking on Naaman Fraser and Axiom or MSK for the NXT Tag Team Championship. And this time it's Andre Chase and freaking Ridge Holland going after it for Chase University. But before we get there, it is time for our main event here at NXT GAB Week 2 as MSK is about to take center stage. Can the Rascals reclaim the gold this time for TNA?
Gold that they never lost. And again, we didn't see an image for it, but we did hear back in the parking lot, Obafemi will be defending his title against somebody. We just don't know who.
And we, of course, heard Joe Hendry. He will be back also next week, Tuesday. And we won't even need to say his name because he will simply appear because he likes it here. And you got to consider if MSK wins these tag team championships, you're going to get more of the Rascals every week in NXT as well. Of course, we talked about it earlier. MSK literally has not had these titles for practically 2 years. To your point, they didn't lose them. They were stripped of them due to circumstances. We're going to become 3-time NXT Tag Team Champions. This is a very weird intro, by the way. I just want to say that for the record. And I gotta wonder, Naaman Fraser looked like he was on the phone with somebody earlier. My eyes. She's a warning. Axiom and Naaman Fraser, of course, who have been the NXT Tag Team Champions since beating Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin, the NXT after Stand and Deliver. But an incredible defense against Chase University's Andre Chase and Duke Hudson, of course, at Heatwave, their last successful defense of those titles. And we thought they were a pretty much steady step there before going into the match, with Naaman Fraser showing up late. And again, we've seen this subtle tension as of late with the NXT Tag Team Champions. But when it comes down to the goal, JJ, they seem to be on the same page.
For now, but, there's been a little bit of back and forth, a little bit of tension between the two partners here for a minute.
Oh, boy.
Could this be the final nail in their coffin?
MSK alongside Trey Miguel, the Rascals on full display. Oh, boy.
And you brought up the fact they won the titles at Stand and Deliver. 4 months, solid little run here.
120 days to the day exactly right now. They have been our current WWE NXT Tag Team Champions. Talk about the NXT Tag Team division. You just saw the Good Brothers backstage. Mix it up with Iron Savages 2.0. Of course, this will be, excuse me, bell rings were underway. This will be their 5th defense of those titles, already overcoming Offers of Pain, the D'Angelo family, and of course the OC. And like I said, Chase University. It looks like we're starting off with Axiom and Wesley. And of course, heavy kinesio tape, though, on the left shoulder. Going to have to watch that, particularly.
I've always kind of thought that it was never a great idea to come out with something like that kinesio tape because it just puts a bullseye on you.
Yeah, but again, you know what kinesio tape does to a competitor's muscles. It soothes them. It settles the tension. It allows them to have better body control over a very vulnerable body part. Woo! Big drop kick, though, by Axiom. Of course, former Heritage Cup, inaugural Heritage Cup winner, gets a 1 count. Wesley and Axiom starting us out here. Axiom and Nathan Fraser, the 37th NXT Tag Team Champions. Tag made by Nathan Fraser. Axiom stops himself on the ropes, catches Wesley with a kick. Nathan Fraser, student of Tyler Black, Seth Rollins, gets a 2 count. Again, this is everything, though, for MSK. Almost a story of redemption in the fact that Wesley and Seth Rollins did not have a proper second run. And again, the winner of this match will defend those titles against Chase University, this time represented by Andre Chase and Ridge Holland. Next week. Woo. That's agility being shown up by David Frazier. And again, Wesley picking up speed. Sweep out the leg. Lateral press. Kick it up 1. Now Wesley looking to follow with Nathan Frazier. Quick exchanges here, JJ, by these two.
Oh, yeah. You knew this was going to be fast and furious action here.
Whoop. Whoa, and Wesley catching Nathan Frazier off that speed exchange with a big right. The challenge is in control. Of course, Wesley was brought back to this story of reset and redemption alongside his running mates after losing the chance to become NXT North American champion again after coming back from injury and cannot challenge for it again as Logos Obathemi is holding it. Tab made of Zachary Wentz here. And man, again, Zachary Wentz just bronco busting Nathan Frazier in the corner.
Hooked on an 8-second ride here.
And again, Trey Miguel bouncing on the outside. And
he
Tab
keeps
made by
going
Wesley.
and going and going. And
All
going.
right, come on. You got a 5 count. Jeez. Good grief. Covered by Wesley. And a kick out. Good grief. That was a sight to behold, I suppose. Wesley back on top, though. Nathan Frazier trying to regain control, trying to just get back up to his feet. Whoop. Whoa, and catch him with an Insiguri. Rocks Wesley
Frazier
down to
with
his
the tag.
knees. And come Axiom up the top rope. Flies over the cross body, though. Bounces off him, though, and drives forward, taking out Zachary Wentz. And Axiom now taking control. Up and around. Take away T. Harris. Drives Wesley to the outside. And meanwhile, Nathan Frazier looking to fly.
Jesus, the aerial offense there of Nathan Frazier and Axiom now sees it's his turn to shine.
Pointing to the corner, springing up and over. Top rope moonsault!
Takes out both members of MSK.
And you won't miss a second of the NXT Tag Team Championship match here. Can Az and Nathan Frazier hold on to the gold against MSK and the Rascals? Stay tuned. Fuck television. We got a full commercial.
Interesting that the two champions picked up their belts to kind of taunt with them there right before we went to commercial. I wonder if that's a bad omen.
Well, you know, it's one of those fans where it's like you touch the trophy or the belt, you've already lost. But they are the champions coming in. It also could be a pride favor, being perfectly honest. Let's keep in mind, this legitimately is NXT versus TNA. This is not just MSK. This is the Rascals trying to take the NXT Tag Team Championships back home, preferably to TNA. And back to picture-in-picture here again. You see Zachary Wentz taking advantage of Axiom. Looking for a code breaker. Axiom able to stop him, though.
I'm still in full commercial, so just go ahead.
I got you, Insiguri. And of course, you can talk about, again, you talked about MSK, you talked about Wesley, and you talked about the former Nash Carter. Now Zachary Wentz, his own story of redemption, getting back to NXT. And of course, since Wesley reunited with his Rascal buddies, the Rascals have been undefeated in trios action. It was literally a trios match that got him in the first place. Cover by Axiom, gets a 2 count. Tag. Of course, that trios match alongside young OG Javon Evans. It was the Rascals getting the win, the pinfall victory over Axiom to get this match. Snap suplex takeover there for a 2 count. Nathan Frazier on Zachary Wentz. When
Okay,
Axiom
now I got
pinned,
picture in picture.
yeah, of course, Axiom got pinned, and the Rascals, next thing you know, MSK got a respectable tag team title shot that Nathan Frazier maybe didn't agree with when we first heard about it. I was taken surprised by it, JJ.
Oh yeah, Nathan Frazier had a Canadian maple leaf here on Zachary Wentz. Now stepped over to the STO.
And you see Zachary Wentz right now still has a lot of distance between him and his partner, Wes Lee. David Frazier remaining in control. Up and over. Wentz looking for the tag. David Frazier taking Wentz. Whoa, man! Hard drop with the side drop. Cover. 2 count only on the outside leg off the bat drop suplex. And back to the rest hold, excuse me. Rear naked choke applied here. And Trey Miguel trying to will on Zachary Wentz to get towards his corner and make the tag to Wesley. Of course, Trey Miguel is a former X-Division champion, and alongside Zachary Wentz, 2-time TNA Impact Tag Team Champion. Of course, the current X-Division champion right now is my Bills. We are back here at NXT GAB. I hope finally we took our last commercial break again. Fuck television for life. Again, JJ Williams, Mo Foster on the call. Jimmy live watch event schedule here as we cover NXT GAB Week 2. The conclusion, MSK from TNA taking on NXT Tag Team Champions Nathan Frazier and Axiom. And again, reaching for that tag, maintaining wrist control, though, keeping him a hand's length away. Standing switch, though. Frazier up the second. Oh, man!
Huge super kick by Wentz there, taking down Nathan Frazier, and this is exactly what Zachary Wentz needs to get the hot tag to Wes Lee here.
And take a look at the replay here. Picture perfect timing by Wentz with that super kick, catching Frazier while he was upside down. Tammy to Axiom, Tammy to Wes Lee. And Wes Lee right now picking up speed here, walking on the west side of things here. TNA and NXT combination here with a snapmare. Drop kick to the shoulder blades, back of the head. And the fire within Wes Lee is on full display here. Oof. Kick to the jaw. It's a great back of the head. Snap suplex. They got their eyes on the prize. Cover. Deep hook of the leg. 2 count on the champion. We're literally half a second away from crowning new NXT Tag Team Champions, JJ. Of course, tonight we saw Pete Dunne beat Trick Williams. We saw Kalani Jordan retain her NXT Women's North American Championship against Tatum Paxley. Ooh, Wentz catching action there.
Returned his NXT Championship against Oro Mensah.
Great awareness there by Axiom, preventing the attempted backstabber double stomp combination by MSK. Now Wentz is legal with Axiom, catching with Enziguri. Of course, we saw Joe Hendry also beat Joe Coffey, and Wentz Sinclair beat Kendall Gray with a ridiculous reality check. Almost a 1%. What the hell is this? Avalanche Spanish Fly! And the Phoenix Red Rise from the opposite corner. Phoenix splash by Frazier into the cover to retain. Wesley saves the matchup.
Last possible second there. Jesus, I almost thought the champs had it.
Unbelievable.
Look again at that Phoenix splash.
Beautifully executed. Got all of it. Deep hook of the leg there. Doesn't get close to that without the bell ringing.
Axiom now back with Wes Lee.
Oh, God. Clocked Axiom there. And Wes Lee, though, David Frazier might be looking for the snap.
Oh!
Oh, no!
Super kick from Axiom takes out Nathan Frazier. Wes Lee gives one to Axiom.
This might be the moment. This might be the time. Cutter out of nowhere. Wentz in the cover. Kick out.
Holy shit.
How the hell did Frazier kick out of that? That was pure instinct.
This is awesome.
I agree. That's not Nate's sixth sense, clearly. Tab made now to Wes Lee. And we might be one move away. Hot fire flame! Wes Lee with the cover. Axiom saves the titles.
Man.
I don't know how the hell Axel was able to get back in there in time, let alone how Fraser was able to kick out of that last big cutter out of nowhere by Wentz here. This match continues, though. West sent to the outside, crashed against the announce table. And right now, we're with the two legal men here. Wesley, person top rope. Drop kick by Fraser. Turns Wesley up and over. Uh-oh. What the hell?
Fraser going for here? He's got Wesley stood up on the top.
I sense disaster. Superplex! Float over. Maybe looking to hook him up. Oh, super kick brainbuster combination. Axel with the cover on Wesley to retain kick out. Wentz was just outside from breaking it up. That was pure instinct by Wesley to kick out of that. And that follow-up move might have did it. Axel with the cover. And the champions retain.
What?
What a match, though.
I don't believe it.
I gotta be honest, I don't either. Split-second margin of error and time there for Wentz to try and come in for the same and was unable to. Nathan Fraser and Axiom, once again, when it matters, retain the NXT Tag Team Championships. MSK denied. Look at this. That setup for that follow-up running drop kick. That's what it took. Deep hook of the leg. Wentz just outside for the save. Wesley down for the 3 count. A respectable effort, though, by MSK against the still current NXT Tag Team Champions. Great show of respect here amongst all 4 of these incredible athletes. And we got to remember now, we know for sure it will be Axiom and Nathan Fraser defending the gold against Chase Hughes, Andre Chase, and Ridge Holland next week on NXT. And again, Wesley unfortunately denied again. And Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel trying to hoist up their fellow rascal. A phenomenal effort. You know, where Wesley go from here? Where do these 3 men go from here? Man. Your heart's got to go out to Wesley and MSK for that matter, and the Rascals. Trey Miguel dejected by what happened here tonight.
Oh, shit.
Oh, what the fuck? Wesley just super kicked Trey Miguel and low blow Zachary Wentz. What the fuck's wrong with you, man?
He keeps screaming, "You left me alone."
But they came back when you were about to literally leave NXT. So who's really wrong here? And you were the one that lost. What the fuck does this prove? I mean, this is just deplorable. And Trey Miguel trying to get back up to his feet. Wesley grabbing him by his hand. Body shot. Trey Miguel. Oh, come on. Don't do this. Oh, my God. Trey Miguel driven hard through the damn barricade. We talked about fire woken up inside Wesley. Now it's just an anger. Fuck God, a rage of fury. Double knees against the steel ring set to Zachary Wentz. And Wesley has literally wiped out the Rascals. I'm shocked.
I'm speechless, quite literally.
I can tell, JJ. Well, one way
That's
for
how
sure,
we're going off the air here. Wesley has turned his back on his rascal brethren because they left him alone.
I think it's more than that, JJ. I think at this point, you might as well say Wesley just turned his back on NXT. For the Regular Wrestling, JJ Williams, I'm the Seminole Foster. Thanks for tuning into our coverage of NXT Great American Bash Week 2. Wesley, fuck you, man. That was messed up. Damn.
Well, you know what though? I'm not in favor of what he just did, but to play devil's advocate, the Wesley character was getting kind of stale. It needed a change somehow. And Wesley as a heel could be just what we needed.
Well, considering he's lost out now on 2 championship moments at this point, I mean, where does a man go from here when it feels like he's lost everything? I guess you literally blame the world for all that, and you take that rage out on your closest friends that tried to bring you back up from the point of no return. Either way, I guess we'll see what happens next week on NXT, but in the meantime, folks, as JJ will sign us off here shortly, we'll see you tomorrow for AEW Dynamite as this week continues after the Greg Cherry Show. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Again, Dynamite, 7:30 p.m. Standard Time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific. And something tells me the fireworks are just beginning for this week after what we saw tonight, which will probably escalate tomorrow in AEW for different reasons. Jeez.
Oh, yeah. Hell of a show, though, Noah.
Yeah, it was a very fun show. I enjoyed it.
Again, like Noah said, make sure you tune in tomorrow for the Greg Cherry Show, 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern, on the Jeff Meacham Network and the Greg Cherry brand. And then 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern, tune in across the entirety of the Multiverse of Media for our coverage of AEW Dynamite, featuring none other than the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, versus the Last Outlaw, Jeff Jarrett. Special appearance by Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And Noah already knows, I already made it perfectly clear, if Aubrey Edwards is the referee and screws Jeff Jarrett, I will be inconsolable.
And I'm going to freaking just go off on your ass, because how do you fuck up a no disqualification match for the up team top? You know, I'm just going to leave it alone. Stay tuned tomorrow, folks. You might be in for some fireworks here at the Multiverse of Media, and Jeff Meacham won't be able to stop it.
That's right. So, for the man whose name is on the marquee, Jeff Meacham, who was unable to be here this evening as he was putting priorities over passions, as Noah likes to say.
Respect.
For the simple man, Noah Foster, I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. Thank you for joining us for our coverage. We will see you guys tomorrow.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.